Part of the reason I love talking about movies is that they can bring you back to an earlier place in time. I get so nostalgic for things like the first time I watched my favorite film, or how much of a gut punch certain films can be. Looking at you, past lives. And while the past can be a great place to visit, too much time spent there can negatively impact your current self and your mental health. I know when I'm down, I look to the past with rose-colored glasses, even though I know it isn't healthy. Getting stuck in that loop of when things were better is a tough habit to break. Thankfully, when I get these feelings, I know I'm not alone, thanks to BetterHelp. Thanks, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. One of the best pieces of advice I've gotten from my therapist over the years is mindfulness. It's a breathing technique that can shut out the noise of the world and allow you to focus on the here and now. BetterHelp is here to help make starting therapy easier. You take a simple quiz and get connected to a licensed therapist quickly. And if they're not the right fit for you, you can switch at no extra cost. They've helped over 6 million people to date, and now is a perfect time to get started. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cinemasins to get 10% off your first month of therapy, because no one should have to go through anything alone. BetterHelp is here with you. Over 40 seconds of logos before the movie even begins to pretend it knows how to thrones or rings. Also Discovery.
This was a gift from Lord Raiden.
Take this precious artifact as a token of my love, and definitely not as an obvious foreshadowing of my imminent demise. Dad, that was so specific. Kind of weird, to be honest.
If anything were to happen to me, he's always listening.
I'm sure this is supposed to make her feel better, but it comes off more as a warning to stay on the nice list.
Strength is not a closed fist. Strength is here.
In the unibrow area? But also, why not both?
Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld,
Kataneration.
sought to unite the various realms under one rule, his.
Wait, the villain wants universal dominance for the sake of universal dominance? Please say more! Can't believe we've never explored this unique concept a million times in every conceivable medium since the dawn of storytelling.
But the Elder Gods had put certain precautions in place.
These precautions consist of setting up a tournament that you have to win 10 times, but not really, because you can kill your opponent before it starts. Anyway, you have to go through the motions of winning a galactic UFC match 10 times, and then you can invade, enslave, and techno-syndrome rave to your heart's content. That way, the gods really know you wanted it.
Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies. They would be decided by combat.
For reasons mostly related to forcing a mindless 30-year-old video game series format into a movie, no matter how much it strains the seams of reality. Also, there's nothing stopping anyone's armies, or leggies for that matter, from f***ing up your champions before the tournament begins.
The rules were simple.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
If one realm could win 10 tournaments in a row, it would be given dominion over the other.
Who decided on 10 and why? Was there a committee? Like, for the NCAA tournament? Did it start with one championship game? And then the money guys were like, you know what? I bet we could sell ads if we expanded this thing. Is 64 teams enough? Should we go to 76? How much is too much, really?
Outworld would be allowed to pillage Edenia's resources, enslave our people.
But like, fair's fair, you know? If we wanted more, we wouldn't have had our asses kicked 10 times in a row.
This was the final tournament. All of our greatest warriors had already fallen.
Creative ways of saying your dad was only the 10th best warrior available.
But he faced Outworld's greatest warrior, Shao Kahn himself.
Scene does not contain Ricardo Montalban's pecs, or even Benedict Cumberbatch's inability to fill them.
They will never bow to you!
They will. Using your hammer as a javelin somehow feels like overachieving and a misuse of utility all at once. Sculpting your statues of what appears to be some form of sandstone masquerading as papier-mâché. It looks like he's choosing to roll into this falling statue, almost as if he was on a two-dimensional plane where left, right, up, and down were his only options. This shot makes it look like Jared was going to miss this killing blow entirely, had Khan not caught the sword with his hand. Khan manages to take out all of Jared's fingers in one swipe while his hands were at right angles to each other. These fingers I can understand, but Khan's bulky arm was conveniently blocking the magic trick that is the de-phalanging of his other hand.
Katana, close your eyes. Close your eyes right now.
Taking your kid to the Mortal Kombat tourney and then asking them to shield their eyes during the good parts. No! Also, a Mortal Kombat movie opens with the traumatic backstory of a key character. Perhaps not a cliche, but it's irritating that it's happened twice in 5 years. Also, just wondering if Hollywood could figure out some other type of motivation than the death of someone you love for a hero. Villains get money, sex, power, and all sorts of fun stuff. But heroes always gotta watch someone they love take an axe handle through the sternum for some reason.
Edenia now belongs to me.
Which is represented by this spontaneous and well-timed eclipse. Honestly, team, nicely done. I don't know how you pulled that one off, but it really made me look like a badass. Queen Sindel kicks some absolute ass here, which makes me wonder if King Jared was actually the 11th best champion after all. This asshole back here who appears to be taking a leisurely stroll instead of helping out his other fodder buddies. Thank goodness we finally have an on-screen origin story for Katana's blue headband and Poirot's mustache. Now, if the same could be done for Marty's life preserver or Neo's sunglasses, I would finally be able to sleep at night.
Kitana, you're my daughter now.
Being a Paradise Realm like Adenia and having such terrible child custody laws.
Katana!
I guess the point of this lesson is to show Kitana that the bad guys will invariably announce themselves before attacking. The spin looks impressive, but it has the unfortunate downside of turning your back to your opponent at a crucial moment for no reason. Also bringing 2 banana props to a metal pole fight. There's some post-production digital smoothing weirdness going on with Katana's armpits. I wasn't going to mention it because it isn't terribly distracting, but I did want to know how common this practice was. Turns out it's very common. Common in the sense that 80% of movies and TV shows use a mix of makeup, laser hair removal, and post-production CG to make sure not a single strand of offensive hair or discoloration besmirches a woman's underarm cavity. Alien life is going to think that we are the weirdest assholes in the universe.
You cannot be serious.
I thought it was a bit soon for Chekhov's hair ribbon too, considering we just saw it less than a minute ago, but don't worry, I have a sneaking suspicion this movie is unsubtle enough to just go ahead and bring it back again at the time of her greatest peril.
You're the one who taught me. Everything's a weapon.
If that's the case, this reaction to Katana using a hair ribbon was super weird and unnecessary.
You treated me like family, like a sister.
Skip!
I was told that a proper princess is supposed to sit around on pillows fanning herself.
Thinking you're subverting the soft damsel in distress princess trope when the last time a princess was portrayed that way in a major Hollywood film and it wasn't a joke or an unlikable character was probably 40 years ago. The princess who kicks ass even though she's a girl is now the trope, and honestly maybe just as offensive.
Then I thought, you are not exactly the pillow type.
There are 0 humans that are not the pillow type. Pillows rule, and you suck for not giving her a pillow and a murder fan. Movie thinks that I require nothing more than a flick of the wrist to give me a fangasm.
These are amazing.
You have no idea what they do or if they even work.
I have petitioned the Elder Gods for the tournament to begin.
Reminding us that it has been an entire movie plus 10 minutes and we still aren't officially Mortal Kombating. Also, where the even were you in the last movie? Shang Tsung, the sorcerer, seemed to be calling all the shots and your ass didn't even get a post-credits over-the-shoulder throne smile.
My spies have located the relic. It was last seen in Raiden's temple, where it was stolen by the mercenary Kano.
And which spies were that exactly? Kato nabbed the amulet and hid it straight in his pocket. Listen, Shang's a sorcerer, so I would have believed him if he just said, yo, I did some Eyes Sauron sorcerer shit, and some asshole called Kano has the amulet. Instead, I'm saying Kano to these spies existing.
We seek the amulet of Shinnok.
It is said the amulet can heal any wound.
This movie takes giant exposition dumps throughout to make sure everything makes sense. Like, if you took this movie to the park for a walk, you wouldn't even be able to fit it in one of those baggies.
It is said the amulet can heal any wound, transform a man into a god.
Expanding the definition of God to include 99% of the MCU, DCU, and cast of Jackass.
To charge the amulet would require an impossible amount of power.
Makes you wonder why they bothered making it in the first place if it's impossible to ever use the damn thing. Oh, are we doing a movie within a movie? Sweet. Time for a Sins video inside of a Sins video then. Ha ha, new line. Nick Cage's unbearable weight of massive talent has never been in a movie called Uncaged Fury. These 2 assholes choose kung fu showboating instead of using the element of surprise to kick Johnny's ass. Why didn't Johnny see this henchman way before now? This shot will show that he must have run in from the corner, meaning Johnny would have seen him standing there waiting to run into the shot the entire time.
It's showtime.
Reducing Johnny Cage to a catchphrase spitting caricature is f***ing diabolical. Damn it, he's an actor, not a slogan. I am the law. This movie says it was made in 1996, but it screams 80s action film. Even the song in the background is the Scorpions' Rock You Like a Hurricane from 84. It's clear they wanted to do an 80s parody, but had to squeeze it into 96 so Cage wasn't so old in the timeline, and that's cheating. Wilhelm screams in the year of our Lord 1996. These 2 back here seem to be the only ones actually throwing knives at Johnny. Everyone else just seems to be waiting for their chance to participate in the breakdance battle. I have no idea how expensive these sunglasses are, and that feels like important information to know in this moment.
He sure brought more guys.
Including my college girlfriend's life motto into this movie within a movie. This would be a great shot for this video's thumbnail if it weren't so clearly obvious that this isn't Johnny Cage anymore. This RPG really said, F you, Newton. Nothing is getting between me and this helicopter dies in an action movie cliche. Scene does not contain a...
Diabolical.
Johnny Cage got old as f.
The movie clip we just saw was from 1996, and he doesn't appear to have aged 2 weeks. In reality, that movie should have played like a clip from Shortland Street.
Attention fans, don't miss your chance to meet your favorite influencers and YouTube stars in Autograph Alley.
Losing my invitation to Autograph Alley in the mail. Johnny might have a bigger line at his table if he weren't just playing the opening few minutes of the same movie on repeat. God damn, he's got at least $11,500 worth of sunglasses sitting on that table.
Johnny Cage.
At the end of the last movie, we saw that Cole Young was leaving Chicago to head to Hollywood and find Johnny Cage. So where the is he? And why is the literal god doing the Uber work to get their last guy?
Mortal Kombat, huh? What's that, some kind of fan film?
More like a mindless cash grab nostalgia mining expedition dressing up in the clothes of a fan film.
You have been chosen as one of the champions of Earthrealm.
The dragon logo tattoo was a pretty crucial plot point in the last movie, and it is completely ignored here. No one seems to care if Johnny has it or not, even though Sonya wasn't allowed to compete until she stole hers from Kano. Patriarchy, guys.
Thanks for coming. Drive safe and say hi to Dumbledore for me.
Movie throws out references like it's emceeing a pop culture bingo game at the Knights of Saying Me in Columbus Bingo Hall.
You're gonna have to show him.
Wasn't he gonna have to show him anyway? The lightning is how they teleport around the world, so why is it being treated like a last resort?
How are you doing that?
This question is never answered, yet Cage decides to go with Lightning Fingers guy instead of freaking the out.
Where the hell am I?
It's okay, you're still on Earth.
Why would he assume otherwise? This feels like someone eating a hamburger and asking, what is this? And being met with a, don't worry, it's not a human penis burger.
Welcome to Raiden's Sky Temple.
Is this different from the desert temple we saw in the last movie? How many temples does one god need? Asking on behalf of the megachurch economy.
Watch this.
He said, watch this, and then punched the floor. Are you not entertained?
Robot arms. That dude's got robot arms.
Making your primary character trait saying things I can see with my own eyes.
That's Jax Briggs, Special Forces.
It's cute that the movie will spend time introducing characters that were already introduced in the last movie, the previous 2 live-action movies, a bunch of animated movies, and a dozen video games. Also, yes, I know Cole wasn't in the video games, and I care less about that than you care about reminding me of that.
If you knew this was coming, why'd you wait till the last second to find me?
Johnny would be the special effects at CinemaSins.
Can't just go around killing people.
It's called Mortal Kombat for a reason.
Except the killing you're talking about didn't happen during the Mortal Kombating. That would require us to have actually started some Mortal Kombat at some point in the last movie, plus 20 minutes.
Yo, Gandalf, send me back. I want to go back.
This is the second Lord of the Rings reference in 5 minutes. Did Stephen Colbert write this script?
Some stupid cosmic lottery decided that we're the ones that get to save the world.
You pronounce screenwriters strangely.
You want to know the last thing I did before coming here?
Was it piss off an internet-sized portion of the Mortal Kombat fanbase?
You, Johnny Cage, are part of this now. That.
I'd give all the sins back if the movie just ended right now.
Even if you walk away, the Elder Gods can still summon you to fight.
So the Elder Gods have stopped giving a shit about the whole dragon tattoo thing too? No, that's great. I just want to know how many f***s I'm supposed to give about anything these movies pretend is important.
Not if they can't find me.
I don't think Johnny Cage understands how gods work.
And before that, you were the guy with 5 black belts and a world title. He could have been one of the best.
30 years ago! I'm not saying he hasn't got some fight left in him, but you have 1 open slot, and we're supposed to believe he's the best fighter on the entire planet. I could buy it if it was because he has to have the tattoo thing, but the movie inexplicably said, guess I won't be needing this anymore, to a perfectly serviceable plot device. It makes no sense to let Cage go here. He's getting summoned no matter what. So isn't it better to keep him here and keep convincing him to train? I mean, that's better than letting him drink himself to incompetence in a bar and then getting summoned, right? You know, for someone who's still new to all this shit, Cage sure does walk towards active electricity arcs with the confidence of an old pro.
I'm like 90% sure I had an aneurysm and this is some kind of up coma dream.
Carl Urban's account of making this movie somehow makes its way into the movie. Something tells me we'll eventually find out this is Raiden's cave of overcandling. Hey, I know that circular saw disguised as a hat. I wonder if that's important.
I believe it's called a Kano.
I know I said something about liking Kano in the last movie. I may have even given that for a sin removal. But I'm going to stop liking things entirely if movies take that as verbal permission to resurrect him. I like him just fine dead, too.
They want gritty, they want grounded, they want Keanu Reeves murdering 1,000 dudes with a pencil.
Describing the Wick movies as grounded. Also, Carl Urban is 54 and Keanu Reeves is 61, so the washed up comparison doesn't even make sense. And for anyone saying, well, maybe Johnny Cage is older than Keanu Reeves even if Carl Urban isn't, I say fair. But we'll shortly see Cage watching a YouTube video of himself titled 16-year-old Johnny Cage wins first karate championship 1985, meaning Cage was born in 1969, making him 57 in this movie. Still a full 4 years younger than Keanu. Suck it, comment section.
That's some dinosaur doing a bunch of karate poses.
Underestimating the lengths to which the Jurassic World franchise will go to stay relevant.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Johnny Cage forgetting that this middle-aged white man represents the only voice that matters in Hollywood.
Where's my f***ing eye? Blondie.
Using editing as an expository shortcut. I mean, I guess it's better than all the yammering the movie has been doing up until now, but changing style now just ruins my sense of expositional continuity, which is like the most important part of a movie.
The tournament has begun.
Mortal Kombat movie takes 1 1/3 movies to finally Mortal Kombat.
2 of our champions will be chosen to compete today. The winners will advance to the next stage of the tournament.
This dialogue proves that none of their prep work involved going over the actual rules of the tournament.
To the death.
90% of Cole's dialogue so far has been about fighting to the death. But what could it mean? Sonya is glowing, which means she's fighting first. But why is she presenting this very specific part of her arm to the camera? Oh, could it be that's the spot where she got her f***ing Mortal Kombat tattoo after killing Kano, but is now, for reasons unknowable, suspiciously missing?
Don't look at me with that tone of voice. You big bleached dildo.
Every franchise in the 2020s thinking it needs a Deadpool.
Why is he not a revenant like the rest of them?
He was not worth the time or the effort. This one barely has a soul left to corrupt.
I recently saw an interview where the writers of Toy Story deliberately didn't address why Buzz, who thought he was a space ranger, would play along and pretend to be a toy when a human was near. They knew it didn't make sense, but also knew there was no logical way to account for it. I wish more movies did that, instead of insulting my ears with some bullshit half-ass loopholes.
Where is the amulet you took from Raiden's temple?
Here we are. Yahtzee.
I'd love to have seen the conversation where raising Kano from the dead to ask him where the amulet is won out over searching his f***ing pockets first.
Each flame represents a fighter.
Not exploring the more interesting movie about the lore behind these clearly impartial life flame floaties that appear out of nowhere to help its contestants count to 5.
I got a Saturn Award for Best Fight in a feature film, so don't mess with me.
How is the writing somehow worse than the video game it's pulled from? I guess Katana could be pulling her punches here, but that it takes her so long to take out the washed-up actor who isn't even trying should be deeply suspicious to Shao Kahn. As Johnny Cage does a completely pointless and easily countered one-legged wall jump, I have to ask, is the fighting in this movie good? I mean, I know it's occasionally fun, but these are the most boring and nonsensical moves. Like, somewhere off-screen, 13-year-old me is mashing buttons trying to find that one combo that did the cool thing. Cage takes so long looking around for something to do here, while Katana presumably stands 5 feet away, just swaying back and forth in a ready stance. I don't really know what's going on, but it's clear that it's mask removing time because someone off camera said so.
Say the line, Bart!
Finish him!
It appears your side is already down a man. Tragic.
And the mystical rule makers made sure our match didn't start until that one was over, even though everyone seemed to transport at the same time.
Shao Kahn showed me the pleasures of a life eternal.
I enjoy nothing about that line being paired with the sudden erection of this spike. The immense amount of thought that I'm sure went into all the fighting dialogue.
Zombie Queen. Bit of spikes. Yeah.
So pretty goddamn bad.
Her fight was 60% smack talk and 40% actual fighting, so no, it wasn't that bad at all.
You promised me a new eye, and it better be one that shoots lasers.
These demands will be met, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why Quan Chi is treating Kane like his long-lost puppy dog. People do give laser eyes to long-lost pets, right? The metaphor holds, no?
Don't roll it on the ground.
You, sir, are not helping matters by catching it with the shoe that's been living on a dead foot.
Holy is that HD? That's pretty good.
HD. HD hasn't been new tech since the 1900s. At least say 4K or something.
Are they magic fighting pals? Is that how you get your powers?
Birdseed.
I believe the movie thinks it's being hilarious. I am sinning its delusional self-narrative.
There are 8 billion people on this planet, and yet the gods chose you.
The only thing this proves is that the gods may have finally started to partake in the hallucinogens they bestowed upon humanity.
Ouch.
Using a needle and thread to sew up a wound instead of just respawning with full health.
You have done this before.
I've seen it done.
The gender swap conversation between my ex-college girlfriend and me somehow makes it into the script.
It's okay. The Princess Kitana has been my eyes and ears inside the palace for many years now.
I just sat here and waited to tell you so the movie could get a good reaction from you guys, because I'm a stinker like that.
We know the risk you took coming here. Thank you, Kitana.
So risky that it makes you wonder why the Thunder God couldn't have given her a magical trinket that could send messages instead of her entire ass person, like a phone.
You went to another realm?
You followed me?
Being surprised that your security measures of, checks notes, turning a handle in the forest got sussed out by your bodyguard.
I swore an oath, Katana, to serve as Shao Kahn's sword.
She says, brandishing a staff.
The second round of the tournament will consist of 3 matches.
How are we still explaining the rules?
Oh wow, I have been given new life.
The security at Camp Raiden Interdimensional Thunderport sucks. Did the bad guys know that cutting Raiden's throat would result in him leaking his god energy through the medium of strobe lighting, or did they just get very lucky?
The amulet will give you immortality.
So, game over then? Can we go home? We've been told multiple times that this means he wins, so we good? Or is the movie lying to us like it thinks it can just toy with our emotions? Honestly, the complete lack of security measures in place here to stop a convenient how's the peeping appearance by a possibly duplicitous character is appalling.
I'm guessing you're Jade.
That's sexist.
I am told you carry the blood of Scorpion.
I guess the tournament-style scorekeeping is a fun nod, but it also steals all the tension from some of these fights. We know Shao Kahn isn't going anywhere, and we know it has to come down to the last battle, so logic leads you to the outcome before the movie does.
I am told you carry the blood of Scorpion.
Hey, asshole, you started fighting before I could do my thing. Seriously, man, all I have is fight, finish him, finisher, and some variation of brutality, and you're gonna take that from me? No wonder the fans hate you.
Well, hello there.
I hear you, Jax. It's amazing how impossible it is to gauge the attractiveness of a person when the lower 30% of their face is covered. Cole Young's finishing move here serves only to show us that Shao Kahn's new powers have him heal, and by doing so indicates that he was a kind of chump until he got them. If he could have been taken out by this red shirt without them, this further implies that Katana's dad was even more of a chump for losing to him at the beginning of the movie. And why do these movies never do the combat map? Also, Shao Kahn doesn't get enough credit for the difficulty level of sliding a limp human body across a surface using only a spiked death hammer. The limb management is absolutely impressive. This chest wound needs a lot of direction before it's ready for the big time. It healed almost immediately, while the neck slash from earlier delivered a masterclass in dramatic delivery.
Your friend spared one of our guys. Now we're even.
Also, you got a bit of plot armor on still, so it wasn't going to end well for me if I didn't spare you.
Hell of a fight.
Citation needed. Liu Kang decides the best way to deal with the incoming Blade helmet is to set it on fire before it hits him. Also, this entire Kang versus Lao fight absolutely rules, and now I just wish it were in a better movie. Sometimes Kung Lao has to be very specific about making sure his chin strap is on properly, while other times the hat just lands perfectly in place. It's these kinds of inconsistencies that make this sport only slightly easier to follow than the NFL.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all.
Sadly, he'll only be able to pull that trick once, now that the arena is soaked with the juices of 1,000 fangasms. The portal changes from blue to red in recognition that Anakin was not Obi-Wan's mistake. No idea why it's relevant to this fight, but metaphor is good to metaphor, you know.
You were my brother.
Holy shit, I was being facetious about the red and blue thing. Now we're straight up ripping dialogue from Revenge of the Sith.
Don't make me do this.
I'm a good guy, so my actions that result in negative consequences are only because my hand was forced cliche. I know people love this hat, but I find it really hard to get it up for a weapon that I could feasibly replicate with a trip to Lowe's.
He's alive, barely.
He's in a state of suspended near death because we will need him sidelined until later in the movie. At least I think that's what the doctor called it. Raiden floating here seems like an odd you to these benches specifically.
Where's Cole?
He didn't come back.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Necromancer, give me a greatest warrior. The one they call Sub-Zero.
It is really hard to give a shit about anyone dying in this franchise. Oh, not because of the bring everyone back from the dead necromancy thing. I just don't like any of them.
I am reborn.
Saying this in this movie like you think you're special or something.
There is a tunnel beneath the castle.
They call it the Tunnel of Narrative Convenience. No one knows why it's called that. Probably a god named it or something.
What's a carton?
They all look at him like he's a f***ing asshole who should know better. I mean, he is a f***ing asshole, but he's a f***ing asshole who only just found out Earth isn't alone in the universe.
I did not do this, Katana.
Nobody in this movie takes responsibility for their own actions, unlike the real world, where everyone does, always. Fortunately for the heroes, the next round of Mortal Kombating will wait until they can partake in this detour to some part of the Mad Max Fury Roadiverse. Someone needs to explain to me how the teeth on this guy make any sense. Ain't nothing staying in that mouth. And where are the grinding teeth? Evolution done messed up this time.
No one mentioned the fact that you're all a bunch of giant pussies.
It appears someone went to the Marty McFly honorary school of being negged into things.
Well, what did I do?
I find you annoying.
Making this much sense in this movie.
Weapon! I need a weapon!
Live reaction of me every fucking time another sword breaks and Breath of the Wild somehow makes it into the movie. Kids! Isn't he just trashing one of his own people's huts at this point?
Well, this is a stupid-ass way to lose.
It's also a stupid-ass way to respond to one of your only allies being on the verge of getting eaten by a land shark, but here we are.
You're an actor, so act.
By that logic, this movie could act like it's a good version of whatever it's supposed to be, and bam, entertainment. Also, that only works back home because the people he's fighting are also actors, and they're in on the fact that he's supposed to win. So you'd better take a minute to share this info with Alien Jaws over there.
It's showtime.
Carl Urban is so fun as Johnny Cage that you could almost be tricked into thinking you're having a good time. I am here to remind you that you are not having a good time. I will not allow the good people of Earthrealm to be tricked into thinking that one fun performance is enough to convince you your time isn't being disrespected. Duel of the Fates is great. The Phantom Menace is still a turd.
That was the greatest fighting I've ever seen!
That was the greatest fighting he's ever seen.
The cunning! The speed, the ferocity!
The Three Stooges style fighting choreography.
I've brought you as far as I dare. Tarkatans are not allowed in the castle.
Shao Kahn is oddly forgiving when it comes to murdering his minions, but he will under no circumstances abide breaking and entering.
May the screams of your enemies echo in your dreams, and may their sweet bats melt upon your tongue.
Not challenging yourself with fitter enemies.
It may be hard to perform a resurrection when her skull is dripping through my fingers.
I bet this franchise could do it. Just saying.
Chain her up in the town square. Let the princess's treason serve as a warning to all.
Bond villain refuses to kill James Bond in favor of tying him up somewhere so that he can escape later cliche.
I still remember the little girl we pulled from the fighting pits. But I see now I made the right choice.
Thanos and Nebula ripoff says what? Also, movie thinks that Jade owing some sort of allegiance because of being saved from the Child Fighting League explains her betrayal, and movie is wrong.
We'll cover more ground if we split up.
Splitting the party like you haven't played a single round of D&D, which I totally have. I did a quest thing with like powers and stuff, and there were dice, and we ordered a pizza and everything. It's called a round of D&D, right? In the last movie, he summoned one dragon, and now he has summoned two dragons, because sequels are really just about being the first movie, but a little bit more.
And I shall watch you burn.
And then unburn, which I guess is a shock to them, but not us, because the movie forgot we already know he's totally like Deadpool, but without any of the fun.
The amulet.
I'd have a lot more respect for this movie if he'd just said the MacGuffin. The magic protecty box being opened by the techno arm, but not being smashed by the smashy hammer.
Protect the amulet!
I'll keep it safe.
Not also promising to keep it secret. Do you even rings, bro? Also, why was it here in the first place, if it isn't safe? Maybe Khan was wanting to lure them all to their deaths on his turf, but I have no faith in the movie's faith in my intelligence to deduce that. The immense amount of thought that I'm sure went into all the fighting dialogue, and my response to it.
I've seen some of your movies. They're all
CinemaSins.
Old Kano's about to ride in on a big white horse and save all your dumb asses.
Saying this instead of obvious X Machinoia is obvious.
You forced his hand.
I'm beginning to think this movie hasn't studied Nietzsche's ideas on the Übermüller and its relationship to personal responsibility. So, does the hat never come off?
I like air conditioning and beer and bottomless breadsticks and tan lines and one-night stands.
Movie doesn't use Kano's life philosophy to create a hit country song they can use over the end credits.
And why should we trust you?
Because I know where Bihan's taking the amulet.
Kano completely misunderstood the question and just vomited more information from a still unreliable source.
We smash the amulet, we get your powers back.
It's always so nice of these mysterious powers to come with loopholes and conditions. Very thoughtful.
You will not survive in Netherrealm without a guide.
I liked this plot better when it was Captain Picard picking up Captain Kirk in the Star Trek Netherrealm.
Reality is thin in the Netherrealm.
Movie waits like 80 full minutes to Hiroyuki Sanada. Look, when you can Sanada, you do that immediately.
Hell, you've got to try this peach, mate.
And the director said, have Kato eat a peach that looks like an apple so the audience will know he's both an asshole and likes eating them. Wait.
I am Hanzo Hasashi of the Shiryu, and hell bends to my command.
If you can control hell like some sort of lucid dream, you aren't in hell, you're in heaven. This movie makes no sense.
Raiden has sent his last warriors to Netherrealm.
As one does when the script so needs it.
If we lose that amulet, we lose everything.
Weird. Seems like you were conquering fools just fine for years without it. But screenplay's got a screenplay, I guess. Oh, huh?
Hanzo Hasashi, this is not your fight, old man.
Movie thinks hard about how it could strip even more tension away from the fight scenes and lands on have the fighters already be dead and in hell.
You might be surprised. I'm not the same man you killed.
Trying to convince me that this isn't exactly the same fight we saw at the end of the first movie.
Just 2 more deaths, and then Earthrealm belongs to me.
Or submissions. The lights go out either way. Turns out the mortal part of the combat isn't mandatory.
How do we destroy it?
Well, if I know.
I mean, couldn't you just try destroying it?
One ring to rule them all, one ring to go yourself.
Movie thinks the only way to give its Lord of the Rings references more grandeur is to make it a full trilogy. Shadow Sub-Zero decides to f around and find out with Kano, instead of following the squishy non-powered human who actually has the amulet he's supposed to be protecting.
I am the one you want.
Actually, he doesn't want either of you. He needs both of you dead, but I don't think he could give a flying kicky which order you die in. The immense amount of thought that I'm sure went into all the fighting dialogue and my continued response to it.
My journey is to bring back Kung Lao.
But not in this movie, because, you know, gotta keep stroking the franchise shaft.
This is not the end.
Box office takings and an inflated budget would suggest otherwise.
Congratulations, daughter. We just won.
Did you? Because we'll find out that Sonya isn't dead, and she certainly hasn't yielded. I mean, why would she, given what's at stake? Who's calling this match over before mortals have been fully combated?
I renounce You! Today I fight for Earthrealm!
Well, Jim, it looks like the game was already decided, but we're gonna have to go to the official replay for review. I've looked at this in slow motion several times, and there are clearly 0 blue lights in the mysterious floaty things when she gets off that final renunciation shot, which I think means it's too late. Hold on, the officials are coming to the mic and... What? They've overturned the call! Just a terrible night for the officiating, Jim.
Say the line, Bart!
Get over here!
Every single character with a fight to end will now just walk slowly to finish it because... excitement? Can Jade's magic staff transport her between realms? I'm fine with that, but that has never been a thing we've seen her do until now. You shall not pass this off as an original badass moment.
There are 8 billion people on this planet.
Actually, a recent study says we're probably severely underestimating rural areas by 53 to 84%, meaning that total should be 1 billion or 2 higher. So suck it, movie based on a 30-year-old video game.
You wanna know my power?
Nope.
You should be dead.
Should have been this movie's tagline.
Weak, just like your father. No, I am your father.
Mortal.
Jade doesn't get enough credit for the difficulty level of designing these murder fans to spin autonomously. The fidget spinner physics are quite impressive.
You wanna know what makes a hero?
Is it summarizing the lessons learned with some final act wrap-up narration? Wild guess, I know.
I was just telling these guys how we saved all the realms.
You saved Earth and Adenia. Knows if the Outworld even wants to be saved. Seems to be filled with assholes. The Nether Realm is perfectly happy under Satan's Sonata. Long may he reign. And none of the other realms have even been mentioned.
I may have taken 1 or 2 creative liberties.
The Michael Jackson biopic, and the Freddie Mercury biopic, and the Whitney Houston biopic, and the Springsteen.
Hadouken!